Hello everybody, this is Starshot Ryan, here to welcome you back to more Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky. We last left off just finally reaching the top of the Asmelis Tower, where we have our characters, as you can sort of see here, wandering around the top of the tower here. And to now progress through this part of the story, we pretty much just have to talk to people and see what they have to say. So let's go ahead and do that. Short note here for anyone curious about the hint I mentioned in the last video. Think of acronyms. Oh, Stella! This place is wonderful, isn't it? I'm even starting to wonder if the number of photo quartz is going to be enough. The scenery sure is great, like you say. By the way, what's a photo quartz? It's an ultra-thin crystal circuit fabricated from septum. It's set up so that you can take a photograph by burning it with light. That's just what I would expect from a camera woman, someone who knows the tools of the trade. Teehee. That reminds me, what's the deal with Joshua? Well, he says he's getting some fresh air. A raven-haired young man standing silently in the flowing breeze. I think I could really take a good picture with that kind of setting. Do you think he'll let me snap a shot of him if I asked? He doesn't seem to be a fan of that kind of stuff. I think he'd probably turn you down. Aww, what a waste. He's probably just shy, right? And now we move on to our reporter here. Oh man. The taste of a cigarette is wonderful. At first I wasn't in the mood to come to a story in a rural place like Roland, but sometimes these types of places aren't so bad. If you want to be rude like that, then maybe you shouldn't have come at all. No can do. This was a direct order from the editor-in-chief to teach that blockhead girl a thing or two. Otherwise, I'll be all over the kingdom searching for the latest scoop right now. When you say scoop, don't you just mean gossip for your next article? Not that I have anything against gossip, but reportage is predominantly greater. And in that sense, the place that has my interest peaked is Boise. The Boise region. Did something happen there? A number of large burglaries have taken place one after another. The identity of the criminal is unknown, but it seems as though the group has got a pair of wings. Wings? Oh, I see. An airship, right? What are they? Sky bandits or something? They seem to be the most logical conclusion. But there are also the possibility that this could be an imitative deception by the Erebonian Empire. I'm pretty sure I didn't pronounce that right, but whatever. What? That's impossible! We're supposed to have a peace treaty with them. Sure, but the Empire incurred some heavy losses during the war 10 years ago. They can't do much now that every other nation on the continent has their eye on them, but it could be a way to get back at us. That said, nobody really knows for sure, which is why our job as reporters is to bring these things to light. And now let's head over to our archaeologist friend here who's studying this weird, kind of looks like maybe a hologram generator or something. That's my opinion. Famicom, the guys who pretty much made this game, are, do a lot of ancient ruins and, civilizations that had more advanced tech than the current civilization that takes place in the story. I always feel it nice to have that sort of element of mystery always involved when it comes to, what happened, why are these guys gone and so forth. Oh, hi there, Estelle, was it? Is your partner feeling alright? Yeah, he said he just wants to get a bit of fresh air. I see. There's certainly a nice breeze up here, isn't there? I wanted to say, however, that I'm impressed that the both of you are bracers at such a young age. If I remember correctly, one must be at least 16 years of age to qualify to become a bracer, right? You sure know your stuff. And that's right, I'm exactly 16 myself. How nice it is to be young, There are limitless possibilities at that age. If I were about 10 years younger, I would solve the mysteries of all these ancient ruins across the entire continent with these very hands. The entire continent, huh? That's a pretty tall order. Which means that you're not from Liberl, right? No, I was born in the north. But just for the record, I'm not from Irbonia. You don't have to worry about that. Although, I hate war with a passion, that hatred isn't directed at the people of the Empire. You lost someone dear to you? Yeah, my mother. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up any painful memories. It's okay. It happened more than 10 years ago. And since then, there has been a new addition to the family. Oh, so you mean that boy over there? Yeah, he's like a little brother to me. Although, he's probably trying to act more like an older brother. I wonder why I'm telling you all of this. Usually, this isn't the kind of thing a person tells others. It's perfectly fine. Aren't good relations such a wonderful thing? I don't know about you, but his eyes sort of creeped me out for a second there when I saw it in that one frame. But now that we have gotten that taken care of, all that's left is to talk to Joshua again, and we should be able to move the plot forward. There's really not much up here on the top other than just here for story purposes. So let's go ahead. Are you still feeling sick, Joshua? No, I'm much better. I should be good to head back whenever everybody's ready. I'm relieved to hear that. What brought this all on anyway? I doubt it was a lack of oxygen in the tower because the rest of us are all alright. Maybe it was a sudden fear of heights. I don't think so. Estelle, Joshua. Are you finished taking pictures? You bet I am, and I got a lot of good ones too. And it looks like we're done here. How about we head back to town? Alright, greenhorns, lead the way. I'm counting on you children. Well, as you can... Oh, it looks like we won't have to worry about dealing with a third person to protect and going through the tower now, huh? Thank you so much for escorting me back here. This is the first time I've been able to make it back from some ruins without being chased or bitten or... I don't know how to begin to express my appreciation. You don't need to thank us, it's our duty as bracers. I think you're better off hiring some bracers to begin with next time you go off to investigate some ruins. My head says yes, but my wallet says no. I'll try and save up a bit, though. Well, have a wonderful day, and I hope we can all meet again. I think it's about time we said goodbye as well. I was a bit nervous at first, but you kids did a fine job. Let me just say thank you to the both of you. That's what I like to call raw skill. Now don't get all cocky on me. The bracers I know would make you two look like little fledglings not ready to leave the nest. You're going to need a lot work harder. Seem to be a bit tongue-tied today. I'll try to remember that. So, are the two of you headed back to the company soon? Nah, we're going to spend a day or so relaxing here in Roland. I need to write up a rough draft for some articles and such. I'll head over to the Orbital factory and get these photographs developed. Take it easy, you two. I guess this is the last of the jobs we got from Dad. They were much tougher than I thought they would be. I agree with you there. I feel like I have a greater awareness now about what it means to be a bracer. It's not just about fighting for justice. There you go again, saying all the right things. But yeah, I guess I get where you're coming from. It seems like we've got a long road ahead of us if we want to succeed in this profession. For the time being, why don't we report it to the guild? That sounds like a good idea. Oh, but before we go, how are you doing? Still not feeling well? Thanks for asking, but I'm feeling a lot better. Well, we got that taken care of now. See, just gotta reorient myself here. Didn't mean to go into the clock tower there. Here we go. So let's just double check here, finish that. And we still have the medical needs and the Elise Highway monster. But we should be still alright for right now. So let's see. Okay, it looks like for the Highway monster we only have a short amount of time. I'll go ahead and complete this mission just to make sure I don't miss out on it. We still have a bit more time for the medical necessities, so I'll go ahead and save that for later and take care of the monster right away, since it says it's like a rhinoceros, whatever. And let me just double check what it is again. Yeah, rhinocider. No idea what that is, but I think we should be able to take care of it. And as like before, it should be just sort of, hopefully just hanging around the road. And just standing around, you know, like the last monster we dealt with. Let's see. So we still got a ways before we reach the other end. Oh yeah, here it is. It's right on the bridge here. So, just before we go out, or actually we should be fine. If I have any trouble, I'll either run away or just retry again. Now let's go ahead and take it down. So let's see what we got here. No elemental defects or advantages. Usually hides in forest. Thick armored hide gives it great defense, so it's probably better to just use arts to take it down in this case. And I'll make use of that critical with one of my CP attacks if I need to. So go for a blur here, and I'll just go ahead and do an airstrike since we haven't seen that yet. Yeah, it looks like it definitely can take a beating, can it? Well, they definitely have some good monster designs in this game. You know, looking at this thing, as you can see, you know, it's definitely, you could mistake it for a rhino, but other than that, I have no idea. It looks like an armor-plated monster to me. Or almost like a triceratops, I guess, with the 3 horns. I could move the camera around the battlefield a bit, but sadly they just keep it stationary. But it looks like we should be taking it down right about now. It looks like that didn't finish it off. But hopefully, since he only has 1 HP left, we should be able to just attack him. Yep, and there he goes. So yeah, for any of the tougher battles, it's always good to just kind of keep things slow, but as you saw before, we breezed through all the other enemies, since they were pretty easy to kill. But now that we got that taken care of, we shouldn't have to worry about missing it now. And I'll go ahead and turn these all in for the day. And that should just continue to move the plot forward, and we'll probably head back to the house to rest for the day. So let's see here. Or actually, let's see. Yeah, I got plenty of good mirror right now, but I don't think there's any new equipment to buy quite yet. But it looks like Scheherazad's back, so let's see what she has to say. Oh, Estelle and Joshua. Schehera, what are you doing here? This is a rare occasion. You're usually out and about. I just finished the jobs I took over for your father, and I was reporting to the guild. So you finished your load too, huh? Somehow or other, I guess. I heard from... I keep messing up her name. Or I think I keep messing it up, I'm not sure. Aina that you guys aren't doing too bad yourselves. I guess everything I went through to train the two of you amounted to something. Tee-hee. We're grateful too. Well, I guess we report in as well then. Go ahead, let's hear what you've got. We got that turned in. Plenty of money to go with it, and it looks like we've just hit 8th class. Good work, you two. How about you, Scheherazade? Don't you think they've done a fine job? For a bunch of newbies, you did an average job, but you shouldn't be satisfied with that level of work. Especially you, Estelle. You're always the first to get on that high horse of yours. Okay, I get it already. Great work, all of you. I'm surprised that we were able to fill the work gap left by Cassius so quickly. I wonder if we'll be able to relax for a bit now. I don't know. I can imagine that the downtime might be a bit of a drag. Well, that won't be a problem since there are plenty of other small jobs like patrolling the roads and exterminating monsters. It's been a while since I've been able to take a break. Alright, it's time for my reward. I'm going to drink until I can't drink anymore tonight. Estelle, Joshua, you two join me as well. We have to watch you get plastered and make a fool of yourself? Oh, so what you're saying is that you're turning down my invitation. You got a lot of nerve to do something like that to your mentor. What am I supposed to say? Your drinking habits are intolerable. You cause a ruckus, dance like a maniac, and try to strip in public. Agreed. It's pretty embarrassing. Scheherazade, just where do you think you're going to take these underage kids? Come on, the alcohol is what makes things entertaining. But if you're so against coming along with me, then I don't need you, Estelle. Really? Yep. Instead, I'll just have Joshua make up for your absence. Why me? Shihara? Now hold on a minute. Joshua, you look like you'll make a fine companion. Whether we were talking booze or something else behind closed doors, I'll help break you in. Break me in? Alright, you big pervert, Joshua. Why are you drooling like that? It's not what you think. We've got a major problem. Huh? Mayor Claus? Yep, everybody, Santa's back. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Wheeze, cough, pant. Estelle, Joshua, and Scheherazade, am I glad to see you? Saved by the bell. What's wrong, sir? And why are you in such a hurry? This is terrible. My home, disaster, it's gone. What? Alright, calm down, Mayor Claus. Take a deep breath and let it out. Apparently, it seems as though my home was robbed while I was out. What? That's not being calm at all, Estelle. I had something to speak with Father Divine about, so I was over at the chapel, and when I came home, it was rather odd for no one to greet me at the door, so I looked around, and the rooms were in a state of great disarray. Wait, what about your wife and Lita? Don't worry, they're both fine. I found them locked up in the attic room. Phew, that's a relief to hear. It's lucky that no harm came to anyone. It won't get us anywhere just sitting around here, so could you take us to the crime scene, Mayor Claus? Absolutely, I appreciate your cooperation. Wait for me, I'm going too. Good idea, we may be able to be of some help. Well, if you insist. Aina, we'll be at the mayor's place investigating the incident. If you have anything come up, just toss it on Ridge's shoulders. I'm sure he's just relaxing at the bar anyway. Yes, I'll do that, and everyone, be careful. Well, guys, it looks like we'll be continuing our mission today by helping out Mayor Claus. Wow! This place is an absolute mess. The crooks really tore through here. Look at the safe! septum, which was supposed to be given to Her Majesty the Queen, has been stolen. I'm really sorry, especially after having you go to all the trouble to bring it here. It's not you who should be apologizing. It's the crooks who are in the wrong. By the way, how are the other rooms in the house? The other rooms, for the most part, appear to have been left untouched. They're about as messy as the attic room in which my wife and Lita were locked up in. Estelle, Joshua, there's something I want you to do. Which is... I'll speak with the mayor about the incident. I want you two to check out the inside of the house. You mean like an on-site investigation? Are you sure we're up to the task? Since we're all here, splitting up would be the best way to cover the most ground, no? Alright, we'll see what we can do. Proceed carefully and deliberately. Alright, Mayor Claus. How about we talk in the parlor? Sure. Now, where to begin? An on-site investigation, huh? I'm starting to get butterflies in my stomach. How about we start from this room? And let's not forget to ask for witness statements from the other residents. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, so, as you can see here, this is, at least from what very distinct key change there with the music. But as you can see here, we're actually now getting to play a bit of detective, which is I think one of the nice things in the game of being able to kind of survey a crime scene. The gift that we delivered to the mayor for the Queen is those crooks are not gonna get away with this. It doesn't look like they jimmied the door either. They must have decrypted the combination and opened it, or could they really have cracked the combination? It's not impossible, but I imagine that it would be difficult for anyone besides a skilled pro. My best guess is that they figured out the combination using a much simpler means. What do you mean by simpler means? Well, let's see. They could have, for example, dusted the buttons with a special powder. A powder like that would have absorptive properties, and due to its fineness, it would be invisible to the naked eye. However, if a blue light were placed over it, it would glow. Alright, and now let's imagine for a minute that the mayor entered the combination with the powder present. The powder on the buttons would stick to his fingers and come off. This would be one way to know which buttons were pressed. Now, wait a minute. Wouldn't they still not know the order in which the buttons were pressed? That's not exactly the case. As the power collected on the fingers increased, the amount taken from the buttons would decrease. In other words, the crooks could press the buttons in order starting from the least luminescent. It might be a little more difficult if there were duplicate numbers, but the crooks should be able to make a pretty good guess as to what they are. That makes sense. Joshua, are you a genius or something? That's just basic knowledge. Anyway, let's check out the buttons. Just as I thought, powder was used. Now there's no doubt in my mind that this safe was opened using the same method I just explained. Oh, right. Now the big question is who dusted the buttons with that powder? We know it would have to at least be someone who visited the residence. Right. Now figuring out who that is, that's going to be the tricky part. So, we have our first clue. And if you can see here, they pretty much at least highlight where some of the major points we'll need to look for are. So we won't have to just randomly inspect every single object. It's just like the mayor to have a ton of difficult books like this. It looks like he got some valuable antique books here as well. The criminals either had no idea about the value of the books, or... This is just a clutter box, right? It's empty as well. The box locks looks like it was burned off. The criminals may have used an orbital gun. Some more clues. This place is all torn apart. Lita would probably faint if she saw this. It looks like all the books on the shelf have been scattered about the room. It seems kind of senseless to have done all this. There are several documents inside the drawers. They don't appear to have been disturbed. They seem to be documents regarding Roland City's government. The fact that these are as they are suggests that they have no political aim involved. It's just like the mayor to have a ton of difficult books like this. Yeah, so pretty much the same thing we heard from in the other side of the room. And that should be just about everything from this room, so we should move on from here and go ahead and talk to our maid friend here. I had such a scare. I was cleaning up the attic when suddenly a bunch of masked men came marching in. Masked men, huh? That means that this wasn't a one-man job. How many people were in the group? I'd probably guess about 3 or 4. Oh, that reminds me. One of them was short. It might have even been a girl. Let's see, just to talk to her one more time just in case. Some NPCs will have multiple things to say. When I think about the fact that I'm going to have to clean up that study, my head starts to spin. When I get my hands on those criminals, I'm going to give them a beating like they never forget. So, nothing to expect in here, though. And now we get to talk to the mayor's wife. Are you alright, ma'am? Yes, I'm fine. The intruders weren't violent towards us. Is there anything you noticed in particular about the intruders? They were wearing masks, so I wouldn't be able to tell you any specific features. That reminds me, I'm certain the front door was locked. I locked the door just to be safe since my husband had gone to the chapel and there were just the 2 of us here. I wonder how in the world they got in. And nothing else to inspect in here. So, we can probably at least assume that whoever, probably jimmied the door, tried to unlock it somehow. We can't say for certain if they've been into this house before, but then again, since they knew exactly where to look for the item in question, who knows? But then we're not familiar with how many people have come through here. Oh, this is kind of weird. A leaf. Huh? What's this? Don't you think it's a bit strange for a leaf to be in a place like this? On top of that, it's not a type that grows around here. You're sharp, Estelle. This is the place where the residents were locked up. It was probably dropped by one of the criminals as they were locking everyone up. So it's a key piece of material evidence, right? And it looks like there's nothing else to look around in here. So we should see if things are done over here now. Are you really done investigating? It seemed a little too quick to me. How about looking around a little more carefully? I'm sure there's something you've missed. And let's talk to the mayor at least. And it looks like things when came home. Things didn't get to criminals either. So let's check in here next. And it looks like I must have missed something in one of the other rooms. Or I should probably check the balcony. See if something is out there. Here we go. So, as you can see here, we can't really see any marks on the railing, but you will have to, at least now we know we had to check this particular spot right here. Look, there are some marks on the railings. You're right, and they're fresh too. It looks like some metal dug into the wood. So just double checking. Something metal and strong enough to leave marks, huh? This seems like something worth jotting down in our bracer notebooks. And that should be it, so we'll go back down and check to see if that's everything or not. Since we found the leaf and the marks on the railings. I guess not. Let's go ahead and check the... They say the door was locked at the time of the burglary, correct? It doesn't look like the lock's been broken either, which means they got in another way. So maybe that should be it now. I had the mayor run me through all the details. How about you two? Did you find anything? Alright, then let's check the details one by one and see what you've come up with. First off, what were the criminals after? Yeah, so we'll pretty much just answer what we can safely assume what we found. So in this respect, the game does help try to give you a sense of being a detective, which is very rare in a lot of games, trying to focus more on the action or the story where it's revolving around the characters and how things work out. How many of them were there? Apparently there was a group of 3 or 4. Yeah, so I think it's this one. Where did they get into the house from? I think they got from the terrace on the 2nd floor. Point blank, what is the portrait of those thought to have committed the crime? Or, wait, portrait? I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing what that means, but... I would probably assume a traveler who visited recently. Wow, you did a good job investigating. It looks like we'll be able to specify who the criminals are with this information. Mayor Claus, over the past 2 or 3 days, have you had any new faces in your study? When you put it that way, I guess there's been a number of people. The reporter from the magazine company was one. Oh, so those two came to visit you too, huh? But at the time of the crime, they were with us at the SMLS Tower. I think we can cross them off the list of suspects. I see. So Mayor Claus, were there any others? Other than that, there was only Jose. But let's not kid ourselves here. I think it'd be a bit of a stretch for her to be our thief. After all, she's a student at the Royal Academy. Criminals aren't always dressed so they can be easily spotted. As for a school uniform, if someone put their mind to it, they could create a replica. But I'm telling you, she was a really nice girl. She was modest and courteous. Right, Joshua? I'm sorry to say this, but I completely disagree. Huh? During that time when the mayor put the septon into the safe, that girl's eyes lit up like a hunter eyeing her prey. Of course, since I had no conclusive evidence, I couldn't call her out on it. But at least to me, she didn't look like any ordinary student. You must be joking. Unbelievable. At any rate, it looks like we're going to have to ask this girl a few questions. You wouldn't happen to know where she is, would you? If I remember right, she said she should be staying at the hotel, but she said something about taking off from Roland sometime today. Well, it looks like we're going to have to hurry then. Estelle, Joshua, let's try the hotel first. Right. Understood. Well, I think that's a good enough time to stop as any. Join us next time when we'll head over to the Roland Hotel and question our suspect to see if she stole the septum or not. Until then, this is Starshot Riding. See you next time. Bye.